was giving hater bitch. She was giving like these my happy ass bitch frolicking around and shit with their rainbow. Like, it was giving murmuring in the background hater ass bitch. But it was me. It was me. Hey creators, welcome to the studio. I'm Aramis the artist. Let's paint. Hey neighbors, I'm gonna staple something on the wall.
Oh, you go for it.
Yeah, just didn't want to startle you. It might be loud. So I'm starting this painting and it's interesting. It's gonna be two separate pieces. Like, it's really, so my plan is for one side to represent the subconscious mind and the other side to represent the conscious mind. Okay, this is random though, but have y'all seen the series Severance? It is so good. It is so good. And I'm just surprised that we haven't even seen it. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, no spoilers. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. We're not even done with the series, but recently our friend had came in town from Chicago and he told us about it. Pretty much the show, I think, is the perfect representation of the subconscious and the conscious mind. I feel like it's the different parts of our mind personified. So it's people who work at this corporation and they have the option to pretty much sever their mind, like split themselves into these two different people essentially. So when they go to work, they don't remember anything about home or what they did or like anything going on in their life. When they are at work, they literally only think about work. And then when they are at home, they only think about home. Like, they don't know what they do at work. So literally they have severed the connection between these two components of themselves, even though it's still one person. Literally the home self, which they call the Audi, it's like the innie and the Audi doesn't even know what their work self does. It's crazy, y'all should definitely check it out. Like, man, it's a really good show. And I think it came out years ago and we're just now hearing about it. But anywho, I love stuff like that because I really feel like our conscious mind is behind, it's like our subconscious mind is the veil that's between our conscious mind. It's the component of ourselves that's actually controlling majority of our actions and our beliefs and the decisions that we make, you know. Anywho, that was a long way to say that I was really inspired by the show, and it's perfect that I'm working on this painting now. So this is what I have so far. So what I'm doing now is like chalking out the woman's form. Now, mind you, that woman is me. It's me again. Shout out to Andy for taking photos of me in the backyard. And so, like, whenever I use myself as a portrait, it's not really meant to directly symbolize me. Of anything, it's really just a woman that I think is beautiful, that I have access to, and no copyright issues will be used if I use her image. You know what I mean? It's like, since the image is me, since I'm creating my own photography, I won't have any issues with copyright. And I can position myself in the exact position that I want to tell the story that I'm trying to tell, you know? And so I was intentional about her being, her having her eyes closed. I'm sort of in this chiffon thin material that is similar to a veil, you know, like whenever I think about a veil, I think of this meshy thin material that's still a little see-through. We might have to blur that out. So we got her here, and so, but with her eyes being closed, it's kind of like the way that our mind is closed to what's really going on in the subconscious mind and what's really determining our actions and our beliefs and how we feel. And so then over here on this side, we gonna have her, she's gonna be in the water. And then I plan on like cutting this piece in half. So it'll be two paintings, like a diptych. So I had this dream last night. How many of my videos are gonna start with a random? So I was taking a walk the other day. Can y'all hear me? This is what I'm working on. You can really barely even see the colors. So I love dream interpretations. I think that I was reading this passage in the Law of One, and they were talking about how the dreams, it's like a window to the other side. Like dreams can help you connect to your, here, y'all, I've been on a journey. I'm always on a journey.
The thing that came to me the other day, like when I've been thinking about talking to my higher self, I'm probably still gonna use that word, but then the other word that came to me, it was like source self, you know? Because I think to even like identify or even give it sort of like the higher or lower self, give it these sort of hierarchy of positions, assign a level of judgment to them, as if my present self isn't as good as my higher self, but at the end of the day, we're all the same self.
Yeah, all of them are safe in this place. You know, all of them have room to exist, all of the different manifestations of the self. So dreams are crazy because it's like we be every character in the dream, sometimes and sometimes not. But I think that dreams can show you different aspects. Even if somebody is different than you in the dream, that person still might be revealing an aspect of yourself. Like I just love dream work, you know, like I just love dreams. So I was having this dream that I was she just come on the internet and share her dreams. Like so I had a dream. I was like a light worker. It was wonderful. Like it was beautiful. Like but it was kind of weird. Okay. So I had like an aura. It was like a rainbow aura, but it was like made out of like a crochet sweater. It was like a crochet material that was like radiating around me, but there was a whole line of us, right? It was like a whole line of these light workers, and we were like frolicking down the street. It seemed like maybe some like parade, like we were a part of the parade, and we were like going into this city, going into this village to like bring the light, you know? And like the people seemed happy to see us, but also they looked kind of down. I mean, they looked like they kind of needed some light and some love, you know? You know how like dreams be vague, right? So I don't really remember, but like the energy of the people felt low and heavy, but also they felt like grateful to see us there, you know? But what was crazy, there was like this sort of like higher self version of me, or like light worker self, rainbow aura bitch, okay, frolicking through the cities. But then like there was another like little me who was like in the corner, kind of just like rolling her eyes on some hater shit. Like she was giving hater bitch energy. She was giving like these happy ass people frolicking around and shit with their rainbow. Like, it was giving murmuring in the background hater ass bitch. But it was me. It was me. And I was like, okay, here's the crazy thing. I was both. I could connect with both of them in the dream. So it felt like my higher self and like my sort of hater bitch self, you know? Is that what we're calling her? Is that her name? Not me dabbing with a paint towel, but okay. So the hater bitch self, she was like, what's the point of this? You know, like what's the point? Whatever. Fuck these people, fuck the planet Earth. Like, you know, yeah, y'all frolicking and doing all this, but they about to be bombing tomorrow. They about to be complaining tomorrow. It's about to be something. So like, what's the point, you know? And it's funny because your girl was feeling her nihilism. Like the sort of nihilism was coming up around like, what's the point of all of this? Like, what's the meaning of all of this? Like, why? And me feeling like, not hopeless, because I don't feel hopeless, but it just feels sometimes it'd be like, why? You know? You feel me? You know? But like the higher version self of me, like I just remember in a dream, like she was just so beautiful. She was so radiant. Like she just had such a bliss and a joy about life about her, which was so just like, it was so admirable, you know? It was almost like an energy that like you wanted. You like, man, like you just want this sort of like bliss and like love for life. You know, but I also resonated with the other little like hater bitch me in the corner, like, why we doing like, okay, love and light. Okay, love and light. You know, like, so I woke up from the dream, right, reflect on it, journal on it, meditated, like really was trying to pull out what it was, like what the message was for me, right? Really what came to me is like, yes, both of those are you. you are both of those energies, but which energy did you feel the best in? And I felt best in the rainbow aura energy. Like, I felt best in the light bringer energy, and it just reminded me to like bring back the light, you know? Because like y'all, I was feeling heavy. You know, y'all know I had took my break from YouTube, and I felt like it was the perfect time to take a break, you know? Like, I was heeding the warning signs, kind of feeling some type of way about life. Whole lot of different layers, right? I think if you listen to my Gemini diary, my little passion project, little Gemini diary, if y'all listen to that, then you might kind of be, I'm always going back and forth, right? Like, I'm always trying to figure stuff out. And so I was kind of just like in this weird place, trying to figure it out, trying to be like, what is it all for? What are we doing here? You know? And at the end of the day, like, the message that I got was like, bring back the light. You know, you are a part of, if y'all read Dolores Cannon, okay, is there any Dolores Cannon readers with me? Okay, keepers of the garden. Yeah, you are like, I think that especially as our like light workers and empaths and sensitive beings, right, it can feel really heavy on the planet. And I think the heaviness is having an amplification because I think we're all becoming more sensitive, you know? Like, I feel like the sort of empath, at this point, we all empaths, you know? At this point, we all feel the shifts, you know? But I think the part of it is that we're feeling the shifts, but some of us aren't aware and aren't able to articulate why we feel uncomfortable. Like, what is going on? Sure, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world, but even for people who have pleasant things going on in life, like, hey, actually, I'm healthy, I'm good, I have a loving family, I have a great job, but I still have an unsettledness about me, you know? I think that those people are feeling the collective energy. So it's like, even when you got everything good going on in your life, you know, just like this individual cell that's on the finger, if the entire body is sick, that cell is still going to feel the impact of it, you know? And in the sort of capitalism individualist culture, sometimes we can feel like, hey, that's them, that's not me, I'm good over here, I don't got to worry about that. But in your subconscious mind, in that dreamscape, in that dream space, you still having these uncomfortable experiences, trying to articulate like, what's really going on, you know? And I think those are the moments that remind me that we are all one, and we are collective, we are a part of the collective consciousness. Yeah. So I think that, I don't think we have to find our purpose, I think we define it. But I also do believe in soul contracts, and I believe in different realities. Different realities, different dimensions, and different lives and agreements that we made with ourselves to come here for particular things, you know? But I also don't think that if you come here and don't fulfill that assignment, I don't think it's the end of the world. You just continue on the journey of trying to figure it out. Yeah, because I don't think that we have like this grand mission that's gonna like change the world, you know? But the perspective that this dream gave me was that even if you aren't changing the world, like this individual who was in this parade of other happy, high vibe people, that was just a more pleasant experience, you know? And I think sometimes we feel like, well, man, I can't change the world, or what I'm doing isn't important enough, or it's not big enough, or is this really gonna make a big enough impact on the world? But I feel like the dream just gave me perspective around you just feeling good is enough, you know? You feeling good is enough. Your joy and happiness is more than enough to make an impact on yourself, you know, because yourself, like you just feeling good and you feeling joy is enough to be joyous. But also it's a contagious ripple effect where now you parade through the streets with this high vibe energy and radiating out to the other people who really needed it, you know? It's so bright you can barely see it. Maybe I can show y'all me painting it. There is color on the canvas, okay? Just like the camera isn't really picking it up at this angle. But another thought came to me kind of related to shining your light and being bright. And I think for people, y'all know how I'm gonna speak for me, okay? I know for me, I am a chronically happy person. Like I'm a very bubbly person, joy, love, light. I'm silly, I'm goofy, I love it. And I think especially as we get older, cynicism and nihilism and sarcasm like becomes almost becomes a sign of maturity, and you know, like being realistic about this world. And oh, if anybody is like, you know, happy in this world, and clearly they are naive. And I think that's kind of what I had struggled with, just feeling like I'm a Toys R Us kid, I don't want to grow up. And I've done talks about that before, but I'm also just like entering a journey in my life where I'm not associating joy anymore only with childhood. And it's almost heartbreaking to even think that we can only preserve those emotions for like youth, or somebody who's like naive or aloof, or who like isn't connected to the world. Because the other things I was seeing was like toxic positivity, you know, and to me that feels like such a big conundrum. That feels like such an oxymoron. But like, I get what people are talking about, but I also feel that there's so much beauty in bringing and shining light in the world. I feel like it's actually the ultimate form of maturity, you know, versus like being in this world and being like jaded and being beat down so much by the heaviness of it. Like that's easy, actually. Like it's actually easy to just succumb yourself to your surroundings. So it's like, yeah, if the surroundings are like negative and dark and heavy and gossip and war and famine and like all these things, then yeah, it's actually pretty easy to fall into that type of energy. To me, it takes a level of, I don't know, is spiritual evolution the right word? Like it's just, there's a level of clarity, a level of inner work, a level of healing, a level of self-exploration that needs to even take place to muster up an energy, to manifest an energy, to cultivate an energy that is not sort of naturally present on this side of the veil, you know? Because it is present. Like I don't want to say like, oh, it's, you know, it's hard to bring light and love in this world that like doesn't have it. No, it's here. It's here in full effect. And if you, somebody who identify as someone who's bringing love and positivity into this world, you are a true testament that it's here and that it's present. And so one thing is like, I don't want, you know, light workers out here to feel discouraged or heavy in their joy because you got the little hater ass bitch in the corner. You know, as I just reflect on the dream more, it made me realize that, because what's crazy is like my sort of default place is that sort of like rainbow aura self, you know? And so I think the little small being that was in the corner was a personification of the insecurity that I have around showing up in like big energy and joy and bliss and happiness and smiles and rainbows and like Skittles and buddies, you know? But it's just like, especially in my like grown adulthood, you know, where some of that stuff's like, oh, it's fine, it's cutesy for the teens, it's cutesy for the 20-somethings, it's cutesy. But when you enter a level of maturity, it's like, all right, yeah, it's time to like get realistic, it's time to get serious, it's time to get whatever the world is telling people that they need to be in order to be like mature adults in this world. And yeah, I think I wanna push back against that, because I really don't feel like you have to be negative, a nihilist, or proclaim everything as toxic positivity in order to be a mature adult, you know? And also, like, what is mature? Like, what are we talking about right now? I don't know. There's such a bravery to show up, to shine your light. It takes courage. I think it really takes courage to be happy in a day and age where a lot of people have almost decided that it's cool to not be happy, or it's cool to be nonchalant, or, oh, like, I don't care, like, oh, whatever, like, I'm cool. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I've just never been that big. Like, I've always been the one who's like too excited. She geeked, okay? She geeked. And I love that about myself. And Yeah, a bitch about to keep shining out here. I honestly feel like that's what we're all meant. That's what we're all here to do. It's like to shine and experience. Yeah, to have this experience, you know? I talked before about when I lost my drive. Okay, when I lost my motivation, I still have the same goals. It's just coming from a different energy. So when I was starting to feel heavy, or like when I was starting to slip into that nihilism, into that like nonchalant, I don't care, whatever was the point type energy, it came because I felt like there wasn't a point to my joy if other people weren't benefiting from it. You know, like you can show up as much as you want, but people are still they still have to live their own life at the end of the day. And I think this especially comes in for family, you know, like when you really just like love your family and you love the people in your life and you want the best for them, so you try to like share all the books you read in the podcast. It's like, look, you can be happy, you know, telling them different recipes, like healthy living, just like different things, because you want them to be well and you want them to, you know, like you just want the best for them, you know. But when you realize that you genuinely don't have any control over anybody else but yourself, for me that brought a level of discouragement, you know. It was like, well, what's the point of me even, you know, like sharing or showing up or like offering this insight or giving a book recommendation to a friend, or, you know, sharing my like workout routine with a friend who's trying to get healthier, just like whatever, like I don't know. Like it's like, what's the point if people aren't gonna listen or if people aren't gonna actually execute on it? But then I just remember, like, we just here to experience, you know, like you don't have to do something in order to save the world, you know. Like it's not that big. It's not that big. Come on back down. Remember the ultimate truth. We're all one, you know. So like nothing's actually broken. You can actually peel back the veil and see like, oh, I'm actually both people. Like, oh, they're them, but them is me, and we're all one, and we're all experiencing this together. You're not wrong, I'm not wrong. There is no wrong or right. We're all in this collective consciousness and nothing's broken. And I can just be down here enjoying the ride. Like, let's go. Like, let's just be here. Let's just be here and let's just have fun. And if you get to be here and if you get to pick an experience, what experience would you pick? Would you pick one where you're feeling blissful and having a love and a radiated energy for life? Or are you picking one where you the hating ass bitch in the corner? We get to choose.